Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, CeeChronicles here, back again with another fragrance review video. If you're new on this channel, I post fragrance related content and would very much appreciate it if you did decide to come on board by subscribing. To those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Welcome to today's video. We have a review, my very first Nabeel fragrance, and this one's called Raunaq. And I'm not being sponsored by Nabeel. It is just a house that I saw and I thought to try it out. Okay, so Raunaq is the fragrance of the day, and I'm going to spray it on a piece of paper. I haven't experience with wearing this fragrance, but I am spraying it on a piece of paper because I am already wearing my fragrance of the day. Notes listed for this one are a gazillion, but I'm going to zoom on the notes that would be concerning to start off this video. Okay, notes, of course, like that eucalyptus, because it has one of those notes that when you look at like this, you're like, oh my God. I mean, if you're one of those people that use a mental shortcut, what I can say about this fragrance, guys, is it's a green aromatic style of fragrance. However, the notes that would be of concern here are obviously going to be that eucalyptus, the cypriol oil, the bitter smelling oak moss. It has a herbal tarragon note and an overall balsamic feel. So the fragrance in itself is aromatic, but wait, it's not a train smash. That's why I said I'm going to start with the concerning notes, because most cases when you see the notes of eucalyptus and all that, you're like, no, I'm not about to move around smelling like a herbal store. That is not what you're going to get from this fragrance. Those notes, yes, make it or build a DNA that is green toned, aromatic, spicy, that style of fragrance. But there are other notes that add into the tons of notes, guys, building somewhat of a very complex, sophisticated style of a fragrance. The mid of this fragrance introduces fruits in the mix, and it's as if those fruits come in to pacify that green aromatic tone. The fruitiness just feels as though it's like, wait a minute, okay, are we going fruity here, right? So there's gonna be that introduction of a fizzy strawberry in here, a pear and a citrusy wrap up of a feel of that orange, okay, but not enough to call it citrusy. It just becomes like a fresh toned fragrance, okay, because that greenness kind of is weighed down a little bit. It's not even piercing offset, but I'm just saying it's when the fruitiness comes that it feels as though now it's a perfect balance of what I'm going to say is a little bit fresh, a little bit fruity, and still aromatic, and without necessarily saying this is a fruity scent. Okay, so this is one fragrance that I would outright call exotic, because it doesn't stereotype itself as anything. It's not even Middle Eastern toned to my nose. No, is it Western? But it is foreign, in nature. It's just one of those DNAs that just feel unique and foreign. You're most likely not going to come across a lot of people smelling like this, and it is enjoyable. There's also going to be an introduction of the florals, but still not enough to call this fragrance one that's taking a floral direction. Expect white florals in here like jasmine, gardenia, and some osmanthus. And the osmanthus also works together with that fruitiness, okay, because osmanthus can be nectarous, so also anchors on that fruitiness. So you get a mid there that is fruity, floral, without exactly being or asserting itself as a fruity fragrance or a floral fragrance or a fresh fragrance, because there is that aromatic, pizzazz going on in the mix there that we got at the top there. So that is one thing that I want you to take note of. It just feels as though the greenness is, of course, the theme of this fragrance, building into the longevity of this fragrance. And then the base of this fragrance, guys, introduces a gentle woodiness, and you're going to get a hay-like feel of tobacco, hay-like feel of coumarin, and it's still those heavyweight notes, guys, in this done lightly but heavyweight under normal circumstances that build a beast performing fragrance. Now, lastly, remember I told you that I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to be a storyline because there's tons of notes in this fragrance. Lastly, and that I would say is a cherry on top, is the inclusion of the vanilla and the sugar note as a standalone. Okay, so you're going to have somewhat of a sweet wrap up, but it's also careful enough not to make it a sticky sweet, style of fragrance. But yes, it's quite sweet there, making it enjoyable. This is a fragrance that's going to tick anybody's fancy frequency that loves unique smelling fragrances. Remember, I said it's not one I can stereotype as a Middle Eastern. It's not one I can stereotype as Western. However, it is adaptable. It is a fragrance that if you like your fragrances different, you are definitely going to love the uniqueness of this DNA. It is also a DNA that I do not have within my collection, so I cannot liken it to anything that I have within my collection. However, I know that a lot of you guys have got, a lot of different fragrances. So if you know what it's close to, you can drop it in the comment section there to help some of the people that may want to know to what extent, this fragrance vibes as. But I can personally say I don't have anything in my collection that smells like this. I can speak for the uniqueness. I can speak for the longevity. It's beastly on 8 to 10 sprays, especially if you spray it on thickly woven clothing. I sprayed this fragrance one day when I was wearing a jumper, and I could see how it could potentially be pushy for some. The profile in itself, because of the inclusion of that citrus that comes in somewhere there in the mid, can potentially be a fragrance that you can wear in summer. But that is if you are used to a lot of scent profiles. However, outright, if you're one of those people that love your mainstream fragrances, you may find this one as easy to pull off in cooler weather because it can be a little bit pushy there, just a little bit pushy. It just has that staying power where after it fuses to become all these pages that I can smell, and I believe a lot of people will be able to smell these pages. By pages, I mean you'll smell the greenness, you'll smell the fruitiness, you'll smell the floralness, you're going to smell the woodiness of this fragrance. You're also going to smell that, a vanilla tone of this fragrance. But that pushiness to me is going to be one that I'll say, if you are one that is used to a lot of fragrances, you will be able to pull this one off in summer. And the same pushiness will be one that is going to be liked, or it's going to be a no-brainer for those who love their fragrance beast performing, because this is one fragrance that for the price and the performance, I was shocked. And I don't think I would say it's fully macerated because it's just a fragrance I introduced about last month in my collection. So it's not fully macerated, but everything is blended perfectly to work together to create an aromatic style of a fragrance, green toned there, little bit of, a tease of everything there, but without exactly asserting itself as a floral or fruity or whatever it is. Just unique, simply put. The DNA in itself is a unisex to my nose. I think anybody can wear this fragrance. However, it does have a mature quality to it. So I'm going to put an age cap to this as maybe 25 and above, because it does come across as one fragrance that doesn't have that, let's say, juvenile tone to it. I wouldn't gift this one to a youngster. Even a 15-year-old might find it doing a little bit too much. But a 25-year-old going upwards, or somebody who has experience in a lot of fragrances, might find this one easy to carry and beautifully done overally, considering that it's off the Nabeel budget line. The other ones I did not purchase because they were to my nose obvious inspirations of some of the fragrances that I had smelled there, except for one, I think one in a cream bottle. That one was a bit different, but the other ones, were fragrances that just smelling like this, you knew, okay, this one is inspired by that. So I didn't want to waste my money on that. Now, having said that, all I can say, guys, is please let me know in the comment section if you know some of the budget Nabeel fragrances that you'd like me to test, because I have found a plug, for the Nabeel fragrances, and I can obviously bring the ones that I have coins to spare for, because the budget line is quite affordable, but they do have like a high-end line. And if you like what you heard here and you'd love to purchase this fragrance or a decant of it, you can purchase it off High Scent. I will put their link in the description. I've seen that they do have this one in stock, so you can get a decant of this fragrance and try it out. But I am certain, that if you were to buy even a full bottle, this one will not let you down, especially if you're one of those people that love unique fragrances. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we're going to discuss more about fragrances. If you know what this one smells a lot like, drop it in the comment section to help those who would like to know, if it's an inspiration of anything, but maybe it could just be a standalone. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember, smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.